I was at a conference at the University of Minnesota. It was a conference on biomedical ethics, and the subject of the conference was a question. What does it mean to be human? And that might seem like an obvious, what's it mean to be? We ought to know, you would think. But the medical community and the government community and the insurance people are very much concerned about that definition, because medical care is given to human beings. So if you're not one, you don't get any. Okay, so they were trying to deal with the subject, what is a human being? I sat in a lecture hall about the size of this room, but a rather steep slant, as lecture halls at universities are. I was sitting about 2/3 the way back. My older son, Jeffrey, who's a medical doctor now, had been a student there at the University of Minnesota, sitting next to me. And the lecturer, and not a faculty member at the University of Minnesota, but a guest that they had brought in, was addressing the question of what it means to be human, and he said this: a human being is the sum composite of 4 essential characteristics: memory, speech, mobility, and self-awareness. Memory, speech, mobility, and self-awareness. A young woman, 1 row ahead and over about 4 seats, interrupted the lecture. She saw the point so quickly and so clearly, and it startled her so badly, she shot up her hand, interrupted the lecture, and said, "Sir, sometimes old people lose their memory and their mobility." The lecturer looked forward. He didn't harumph, guffaw. He didn't blink. He simply looked at her and said, "Post-human." And he meant it. A man on the front row did the same thing. He raised his hand. He said, Sir, babies don't have speech and mobility." He looked down and said, "Pre-human."